Tonight, Andrew Luck and the Colts visit the Texans. The Westgate Las Vegas Superbook has Indy as 3-point favorites. One of the reasons might be because Indy has won 9 straight in the division, easily the longest streak in the NFL. Colts and Texans, who's going to win this one? We, of course, welcome Braylon Edwards to the desk. Braylon, we'll kick it off with you. Who's going to win this game? Colts, Texans?
I like the Colts. I think the Colts, like you said, they won 9 in the division, and that speaks a lot to the play of Andrew Luck. We talked about that a little bit yesterday. I mean, he's playing amazing this year.
We talk about it every day, but go ahead.
Well, let's continue to talk about it. Andrew Luck's playing amazing this year. He's played well last year, the year before that. I like the way he's getting all his receivers involved. He's going to Reggie Wayne. He's going to T.Y. Hilton. He's getting Dwayne Allen involved. I really like what they can do. And watching them on film, they're starting to learn how to slide, which is going to take away from what J.J. Watt can do as a defender. Don't get me wrong. He is the best in the game, defensive player-wise. However, if they can slide like they've been doing in the past.
Good job with them. I think their defense is a little bit better than we thought it was going to be. They still don't have Jadeveon Clowney there to help out J.J. Watt just as yet. So I think the future will be even brighter for them. And I look at them, Arian Foster. I'm loving what I'm seeing from him. He's averaging nearly 5 yards a carry, and clearly the responsibilities have been thrusted upon his shoulders because with Ryan Fitzpatrick behind center, he's limited in terms of what he could do, so you can't expect their passing game to be prolific, even though Ryan Fitzpatrick is capable of making plays.
Right.
In the end, however, we know how I feel about Andrew Luck. I think he's a stud. They got the #1 pass and attack in the game. This dude has already thrown 14 touchdowns on the season, and whatever questions I have about their running game, because I'm not enamored with it, with Trent Richardson and Ahmad Bradshaw, what I do notice is that it's not just Hilton and Allen and Wayne that Andrew Luck is throwing the ball to. He's also throwing the ball to those guys out of the backfield. So as a result of that, I think that that's something that could really, really cause problems for Houston. I think against Indianapolis, even though last week was not indicative of that, on most afternoons you need to be able to put up some points against them. And I don't know if I believe that Houston is going to be able to do that. I think that the Indianapolis Colts, have a hard-fought game. I think it's ultimately tight, but I think they win this game somewhere along the lines of 24-20.
24-20. You know, Mr. Smith, I have given up and given in to you on this one. Andrew Luck is the real deal. I told you before the draft, I'm taking RG3 over Luck. And I looked pretty good during their rookie years. But I cease and desist. In fact, I was thinking about it this morning. I think that Andrew Luck is so good so soon that we should just waive the rules. And tonight at halftime, we should have a special ceremony and just induct him into the Hall of Fame already. Because he's going to the Hall of Fame, right? I mean, that's all I get told it every day. He's a lock first ballot Hall of Famer.
You hate him.
Why don't we just put him in tonight at halftime? And it's on national TV.
Skip.
I'd watch.
Oh, wow.
To interject for a quick second,
Yeah.
Sarcasm.
I got my show. I'm always going to mention it. Sirius XM, Mad Dog Sports Radio. Channel 85, 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern Time every day. And I'm on my show. 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Mad Dog Sports Radio.
Wait, 1 to 3?
1 to 3. That's right. You
2 hours of you?
You were on last Monday, and you're coming on again next week.
Oh,
but here's the deal. That's right. I'm going to have my man on there. But here's the deal. You know it's bad, Skip, when I have people all over the country, and one of the things they call up religiously, practically every show, they call and they ask this one question. What is up with your man Skip Bayless having a problem with Andrew Luck? I answer that
know what my problem is?
Every day.
Premature coronation. That's all. He is right now, this is a stat. I'm not reaching here. He is tied for first in interceptions right now with 6 in the National Football League. No big deal. I mean, it's early. No big deal. But he threw 7 interceptions in 2 playoff games last year, and he's already, a lot of people already say he's the best quarterback in football right now.
No,
I hear it.
Say that.
I do hear it.
Where do you hear that from?
I hear it from some of our
Peyton
analysts.
Manning
I've heard a couple of our analysts.
When have you heard that? I haven't heard
I'm not going to call any
that.
names, but I have.
You need to call names on that one. I haven't heard anybody
say that. Okay, now back to the game.
Go ahead.
The Houston Texans defense, as you alluded to early in your soliloquy, it's no joke. My Cowboys, who are pretty explosive on offense, they had to scratch and claw for 17 points in regulation last week. 17 in regulation. And this defense, that DJ Swearinger, he is a bad little man.
He's a hit man.
Hey, is he not everywhere? Every time I looked up the other day, he's blowing up somebody.
I still don't appreciate
blowing
what
up
he
a
did
play.
to Dustin Keller in a
I know,
preseason game.
I know.
That's it.
But you know
That's
what?
it. Other than that, I love Swearinger.
But that's just what that's who he's
didn't
he is.
have to
He's
go that
made.
low. He didn't
I
have to go
know,
that
but
low.
he's just boy, he's going to hit people. Whoever's moving, he's gonna hit.
What do you feel about Arian Foster's being partially injured, as well as Andre Johnson
I don't know.
being
He's
partially injured?
questionable, and I assume they were both questionable going into the Cowboy game. And Arian only went for 157 in that game, so I assume he's going to be pretty good. Do I love the quarterback? I do not love the quarterback. In fact, he's in some ways a smaller version of Matt Schaub. In some ways, and Matt Schaub, as we argued about a couple of weeks ago, had his moments. He made a couple of Pro Bowls. So the point is, I think at home the Texans will play an emotional game and they will hang in, but I got to give it up to Andrew Luck, and I am. I think it'll be close like you do. I had 22-20 instead of 24, so I got them actually covering the spread at home for what that's worth. But I think it will be a battle that Andrew Luck and company will win. And one last point. You say you don't trust their run game or you're not sold on their run game?
Indianapolis?
Yeah.
Right.
Last 4 games combined, they've gone over 100 each game between Trent Richardson and Ahmad Bradshaw. That's a pretty good one, too. I know Trent's not Trent that they thought he was going to be, but Ahmad Bradshaw, he's a bad little man, too.
He's a bad little man. He's really tough. Didn't like the fumble last week, but he's a bad man. He's real, real tough. They got a lot of heart. Both of them do. They're not scared of anything.
Nope.
They're rough and tumble. I just need to see some elusivity kicked in. I need to see somebody that can juke defenders and not just and run effectively through the tackles as opposed to trying to run over everybody. Well, some of their yards just seem so hard to come by, so much harder. At the times I'm watching them, and it's like, Trent, it's a gap right there. Hit it. You know, he's trying to dance 1 minute, he's trying to run over somebody twice the size of the next. I just don't get it sometimes. And I'm like, I just wish that their running game was more of a threat as opposed to appearing so workmanlike and arduous.
That's what
maybe
we're
that's
seeing
just
out
me.
of Alabama running backs. I mean, you haven't really seen the Alabama running backs since coming out of Alabama that's made the turn in the NFL for 2 seasons combined.
Okay, that's fair.
So,
that's fair.
That's pretty consistent if you look at everybody.
That's fair.
Yeah, maybe since Sean Alexander, maybe. That was the last Alabama running back that was performing. Okay, so it looks like you guys both taking the Colts covering it.
Everybody in the world is taking the Colts because of Andrew Luck.
Because of my Bradshaw at the backfield catching passes, that was key point.
I'm going to throw a quick plug out there, too. ESPN.com, we got a Pro Football Weekly betting spree.